Yeah. Which well, I want to go into the next question of the Underground Railroad that just came out on Amazon Prime, and you play a character named Royal, which is opposite of the characters that you've been playing as far as the ones that we've talked about in this interview. And the one thing about this show, I'm halfway through and I'm loving it, but I love the nuances of that Barry Jenkins is using to tell the story. And it's not, as some people have said in conversations about how it triggers us in our trauma. There's so much love and care behind this piece. And I know that it's based on the Pulitzer Prize winner book by Colston Whitehead, The Underground Railroad. And so what attracted you to Royal, and why do you love playing him? Because it is a different role that we're used to you seeing. And I love that you're doing this role because it shows your range in your art and your acting. So tell me a little bit about Royal.
Well, Royal is, he's a freeborn man who our main character, Cora, who's played by Tuso Mbedu, encounters on her journey. And they develop this sort of interesting kind of tender relationship between the two of them. And you know, like, this is one of those things where, like, I knew that this was like the project had been in development for a long time, and this wasn't on my radar of something that I would be, you know, even asked to audition for. And I was looking forward to watching it. The book was something that I was a little bit afraid to read, just because stories like that really do affect me, and I get probably upset. And so I'm careful around taking that stuff in.
Yeah.
But I got an audition for it, and I was like, oh wow, well, you know, like, I'm going to take my time and try to do this right, because this may be the only chance that I get to play this part. You know, it's like, rather than going in and looking to get the job, I was just like, let me just give the performance I want to give.
Yes.
And if that's all that comes of it, that's great. And yeah, so I auditioned for it, and then actually we were heading down to Comic-Con with The Good Place as a cast, and I got the call that I actually was going to be doing this show. And yeah, I was you know, just sort of beside myself that I was going to get to, you know, work with Barry Jenkins. And,
that's amazing. That's amazing.
You know, yeah, you know, like, that's nuts. That's crazy. And so for me, that was like the biggest draw. And I think that beyond that, like, because I did read the book after I got the part. I think the thing that really sort of drew me into the story was that it's one of those shows that it's about resistance more than it is endurance, first off. And then I think the other thing that really stuck out to me is that in this story, there's not one great redeeming white savior to let people off the hook.
Yes.
You know, and so it is really triggering in a lot of ways. And for anyone watching it, it's like, it's definitely not a binge. It is a take your time with it. And if you can't do it, you can't do it, and that's fine. But like, you know, it is intensely triggering, but I think that there is a lot of hope and there's a lot of joy that I think that when we're talking about stories that deal with this sort of subject matters, that aspect is completely missing. Yeah,
I think that's what it is for me, because you bring up a good point, because as I'm watching it, it's just I'm like, this is different. You know, even though, like you said, it is triggering, but it's not, I don't even have the words for it. It's just unlike what we've seen in the past with our stories, especially when they're not told by us and through our lens, and how it could just be gratuitous. I can't say that word, but you know what I mean. Gratuitous, or what? I cannot say that word. You know, you would think I can't say that word. But anyway, with that said, I just feel like Barry just did such a good job with the care and the love through the pain of it. And so that's the only best way I can describe it. But how was it like working with him?
He's such a normal dude. he's really smart and very focused and knows what he's looking for, but he's such a normal guy, which was really shocking. I was sort of expecting him to just sort of be an orb of light.
Yes.
Form of this man.
Yes.
For us to actually be able to digest it somehow. But like, you know, he's just a normal guy and very down to earth and has really great ideas about how to you know, maneuver a scene or maneuver within a scene. And you know, he trusts his actors. He's a great collaborator. You feel empowered to do good work with him. You know, he's very open to you trying stuff. And I mean, some of it was just like I would have pitches for certain scenes, and you know, and he said on this you know, this other roundtable that we did, I was like, yeah, man, you know, like Barry would like listen to my ideas, and I'd be like, hey, man, I have this thing that I want to try, and then he'd be like, just show me. And,
wow.
And I was like, that's great. And then he was like, oh, well, you know, we were on day like 106 out of 116, so like I was just sort of tired, you know, on some level, like just do your thing. It's like, you know, it's fine. But I think it's the trust that he has in his actors that just, you know, to let you play while also crafting something that is so lovingly rendered and very meticulous and detail oriented. Like that's a hell of a juggling act.
Yeah.
Somehow it does it so well.